Hi guys, welcome back to another Excel demonstration video. This is Will. In this video, I want to take you guys through the xlookup formula, and then in particular, some of the alternatives to using the xlookup formula. So we saw in a previous video that the way that the xlookup formula worked was we were taking some value that we were looking up, going to a separate array, right? Some separate list where we're looking up this value in this list, returning what index or what order it appears in this list, and returning some result, right? So some something value to return. So here we see that hammer is the second in the list, and therefore we should get $1 being returned here. Okay. All right, and that's exactly what xlookup does for us. Now, xlookup isn't the only way that we can look up values in another list. Another way that's used is vlookup. It's also got another formula that's related to it called xlookup. As long as your data is organized into vertical columns, then you can use the vlookup formula. If your data is organized into rows that you want to search, then the xlookup formula is more useful there, but the logic of the two is the same. The way that the vlookup formula works is, again, we're looking up some value, in this case hammer, and then instead of just giving it two separate arrays, right? The array being our lookup and return array, when we're using vlookup, we give it a table array. Okay, so some table that we would like to search. So the table that we would like to search, the first row needs to be the array that we're going to search, right? So drill, hammer, spanner, and nails here. That needs to be our first column here. And then our third argument that we need to specify is which of these columns, so we could have 10 columns here, for example, which of these columns would we like to search for our return array, okay? So that's what we would like to do here. Our last argument is our range lookup. The range lookup essentially specifying if we would like an exact or approximate match, right? Better to go for false in most circumstances. Usually an exact match is more appropriate, but worth looking into that option for the specific case of what you're going to be looking into. Okay. Now, a much more classic way in Excel of looking up values is to combine two Excel formulas. The first one is index, and the second one is match. Okay. The way that index essentially works, it's got two main arguments that need to be specified. The first one is the array of values that we are going to be looking through, right? So that's our array that we're looking through. And then the second argument is which index in this list would we like to return, okay? So if we had the formula equals index, we specified this list, and we said we wanted the third row there, the third row, then that's going to return the third entry here. Okay, so that's the way that the index formula works. We combine the index formula with the match formula. Now, the way the match formula works is match takes in a lookup value, in this case hammer, and then goes through the lookup array. So that's the array that we're going to search through, and it returns the index. Okay, so our match formula here is returning the row number that we need for the index formula to return the value that we're after. Okay, and again, the match formula has this column number option, or this match type option. More appropriate in most circumstances to specify this as 0. It seems to give like a more reliable output. Okay. All right. Now, another classic Excel formula that can be used that's on older versions of Excel is the lookup formula. Now, the lookup formula, thankfully, has a very similar logic to xlookup. The way it works is we take some lookup value, in this case, hammer. We look through some lookup vector. So here, our drill, hammer, spanner, and nails. And then it's going to return some corresponding value with the same index in our result vector. So in this case, $3, $1, $2.50. It's going to look for hammer in this list and find that it needs to return 1. Okay, that's exactly what it does. Okay, so here's just some of the ways that you can link data in Excel using other formulas. I'll see you guys in the next video.